Anything you need, Commander?
Just trying to get a sense of where the crew's at. Thoughts?
I didn't figure you'd have time to talk with all that's going on. I mean, there are reports to file, on the Rachni and on Anoleis.
The paperwork will keep. Something on your mind?
I'm just looking for an ear. The debriefing wasn't the right place to say how ridiculous this is. Seems like every other race in the galaxy is wrapped up in their own problems. They don't want to see what's coming.
Wanting to believe everything will be fine? Sounds like human nature to me.
Yeah, I guess some things carry across species well enough. I should remember that after what happened with Vernus.
I think you'd carry a grudge over the crap you took from Vernus.
Before I met Vernus, I knew as much as any other civilian. Aliens were weird, superior, and tried to tell us what to do. I mean, it's only been 26 years since first contact. That's not a lot of time to understand them. But it was Vernus who made me see how human aliens are. They're not different or special. They're jerks and saints, just like us. Hell, by the time I got payback, I didn't even want it anymore.
I don't see you snapping very easily. What finally did it?
He hurt Rana. Broke her arm. She reached for a glass of water instead of pulling it biotically. She just wanted a drink without getting a nosebleed, you know? Like an idiot, I stood up. Didn't know what I was gonna do, just something. And Vernus lost it. Beat the crap out of me. Kept shouting how they should have bombed us back to the Stone Age. And that's when the knife came up. A military-issue talon, right in my face. I cut loose. Full biotic kick right in the teeth. Almost as strong as I could manage now. But at 17, that's something.
You wanted to help a girl you cared for. That's a noble thing.
Maybe my intentions were noble, but I lost control. I killed him, Shepard. Snapped his neck. They probably could have saved him if they got him to an infirmary quick enough. But they didn't. Caused a stir when they shipped him home. Bot training was shut down. Kinetics folded a couple of years later. So, yeah, maybe I hated that Turian. I mean, if one ass was enough to judge a whole race, I'd hate humans too.
A reasonable stance. Keep that level head and we'll do fine.
Staying reasonable is about all we've got left. Everyone else in this galaxy seems to have gone out of their minds. Present company accepted, of course. Anything you need, Commander?
What's your opinion on the last mission?
Killing Saren's, what was Benezi anyway? Second in command? Advisor? Anyway, it should set him back a bit. I'm sure Dr. Tassoni's hurting, though. Poor kid. Having to kill her own mom.
Any opinion on the Rachni?
Off the record, if we had the option, I'd as soon have left it to the Council. We weren't out here during the Rachni War. I'm not sure we have any business getting involved.
We'll talk another time, Lieutenant.
Commander?
If you are here to talk about Benezia's death, you need not bother. She brought it upon herself.
Don't pretend it doesn't bother you. She was your mother.
She was. But she was not. I prefer to remember Benezia as she used to be, before she was corrupted by Sovereign's power.
The best of your mother lives on in you. Her determination, her intelligence, her strength.
That is kind of you to say. I appreciate your concern, but I am fine. Benezia chose her path, just as I have chosen mine. I am with you until the end, Shepard.
I like talking with you, Liara, no matter what the subject.
Then let us talk about you. Are you okay?
I'm not sleeping well. The visions keep me up at night.
I wish there was something I could do to help you. You need to be at your best, Commander. The crew relies on you for leadership. It can be a heavy burden.
I can handle the responsibility of command, but if I don't stop Saren, the entire galaxy gets wiped out.
I'm sorry, Commander. The last thing you need is someone constantly reminding you of how grim things are. Is there anything else you would rather talk about?
I should go.
Goodbye, Commander.
Never a dull moment with you, Shepard.
You ever go on any missions like ours before?
Saving the galaxy from certain destruction? No. But I've had my share of adventures.
Do you remember any that stick out?
A few. I remember one time I was hired by a Volus diplomat. What an ass.
I guess even politicians have need of mercs from time to time, huh?
Time to time. If it wasn't for politicians, I'd be out of work. They're always looking for ways to get ahead. This one was no different. He wanted me to erase his past. Get rid of an old friend who knew too much. Huh. His old friend turned out to be an Asari commando.
I can see why that might give you pause.
What? No. Alina and I were old friends. Sort of. We met when we were both contracted to kill the same Turian. Neither of us wanted the other one to get him first. We spent more time fighting each other than tracking that Turian.
An Asari commando mercenary. That's unusual, isn't it?
I wouldn't say it's unusual. Mercs come in all shapes. Anyway, when I told Alina about the diplomat's contract, she and I had a good laugh about it.
So what'd you do?
Well, I wasn't going to lose the contract, but I respected Alina. In the end, I let her pick the location where we'd fight. She chose some old Solarian space station overrun with mercs and smugglers. That way we didn't have to worry about hurting any innocent bystanders. She always was a bit of a softie.
What happened on the station?
What didn't happen? For 2 days I chased her through that station. Used my entire store of ammunition. Had to kill a bunch of mercs and use their crap weapons. By the 3rd day, the station was barely holding together. The mercs were dead or gone. Life support was failing. But I had her. She'd locked herself in the med labs. She was trying to patch herself up. Damn tough, that one. Then just when I thought I had her, the station's core went critical. Barely made it back to my ship in time.
I assume the Asari commando didn't make it.
I watched the station from a distance. I never saw her leave. And when that place blew, there was nothing left larger than a Turian's right nut. So I headed back to the diplomat to give him the good news and collect my pay. But before I got halfway there, Alina sent me a message. Better luck next time. Now, I'm not superstitious, but if someone can survive that, well, they deserve to live. At least for a bit longer.
What about the diplomat? He wanted her dead.
I told him the truth. Alina was still alive and she was really pissed. I told him if he wanted to live, he'd need me around to protect him.
And he believed you.
He kept me on as his personal guard until he died. Natural causes. Easiest job I've ever had. A little boring, but credits are credits.
So long, Rex.
Shepard.
Commander?
What's your opinion of the last mission?
You mean the Rachni, right? They were dangerous, Skipper. They proved that 2,000 years ago. I think it was a mistake to let them go. But that wasn't my call to make. It was yours. If you haven't talked to Dr. Tassoni, you probably should. She just lost her mom. That has to hurt. Just saying, Skipper.
Do you have a few minutes to talk? One-on-one?
Sure, if you have time. Figured you'd be busy with tactical briefings and whatnot. Don't know what I think about us attacking today, of all days. Kind of an ill omen.
You mean on the anniversary of the first contact war?
The end of it, yeah. My family always marks it. I'm the only Williams here. I guess you'd be the only other one interested in it.
Seems like an odd thing to celebrate. That was 26 years ago.
In our family, it's not really a celebration, more like an obligation. Don't tell me you don't know about my family. My commanders always find out. It's not in my files or something?
There's almost nothing in your files. Technical scores and a list of crap assignments.
There's a reason for the crap assignments. I'm General Williams' granddaughter, the commander of the Shanxi garrison in the war. The only human ever to surrender to an alien race.
I see. That's why you drive yourself so hard.
A Williams has to be better than the best, if only to avoid suspicion. That's what my dad told me the night before he retired. Takes a special kind of thick-headed to march into a job where your family's blacklisted. I did it anyway. I'm not gonna let our name go down with Arnold and Quisling. Granddad deserved better than that.
What happened to your grandfather after the war?
He was relieved of command as soon as Shanxi was liberated. They brought him back to Earth in irons, but there was never a trial. They quietly demoted him and stuck him behind a desk. He retired a year later and spent the rest of his life working construction in the colonies. Sometimes we hear about attempts to get him exonerated in some official way. Nothing ever comes of them.
As I recall, your grandfather held out for a long time.
The Turians wrecked the orbitals in the first wave and occupied the major cities. They sat in orbit, dropping rocks on anything that moved. Granddad dispersed the troops, but when they went into the cities for supplies, the Turians would wreck a block to eliminate one fire team. Civilians were dying, his troops were starving, and he couldn't contact Alliance High Command. So he surrendered the garrison.
He refused to sacrifice his men just to save face for humanity. You planning to throw yourself on a sword to save face for him?
Would it make a difference? He's gone now. Dad's gone too. And who would it impress? I'll never be good enough for the Alliance. So now you know. Gonna kick me off the ship, Skipper?
You're a valuable part of my crew, Williams. If I want an opinion from the head, I go to Alenko. When I want one from the heart, I go to you.
I also play a mean game of pool. But anyway, I've got things to do before we land. I'm sure you do too.
Dismissed, Chief.
Ma'am.
Commander, I wanted to thank you.
What for, Garrus?
For everything. Taking me with you, letting me be part of your team. I've learned a lot. I've thought a lot about what you've told me. About not sacrificing innocence to achieve the goal. About finding the best way through, not just the fastest. And I've been thinking about Dr. Saleon, too. I'd convinced myself that he deserved to die, but then I started thinking about why I wanted him dead. I realized it wasn't because of what he did to those people. That was part of it, but I think most of it was because he got away from me. He escaped under my watch, and I didn't like that. I let it become personal.
Words mean nothing until you turn them into action, Garrus. What are you gonna do about it?
Well, I'm going back to CSEC. I think I can make a difference there. I'll also reapply for Spectre training, but I'll do it right. I won't compromise myself to get there. If the people I'm sworn to protect can't trust me, then I don't deserve to be the one protecting them.
I'm glad you see it that way. Keep that in mind when we meet Saren.
Don't worry, Commander. I will.
Hey, Shepard. You need something?
What was your father like?
It wasn't easy growing up as the daughter of one of the Admiralty. Even before he joined the board, he was a prominent figure. People looked to him for leadership. He had to set an example, and he expected the same of his daughter. Plus, he was pretty strict, a military man through and through. He never allowed me to settle for anything less than excellence. As a kid, I sometimes felt like he was pushing me too hard. But now I'm old enough to appreciate what he taught me. The world doesn't owe us anything. If we want something in life, we have to earn it.
Where was your mother in all this?
Mother was around, but she always seemed to kind of blend into the background. Almost like she was overshadowed by my father. He tends to do that to people. She passed on about 5 years ago. Some airborne virus that swept through the fleet. Happens sometimes when the filters start to break down. I think my father took it pretty hard. After she was gone, he became even more focused on his work. I think that was his way of dealing with the grief.
Sounds like a tough upbringing. You don't resent your father at all?
Like I said, it wasn't easy. My father's not the kind of person you bond with, and he wasn't around all that much. Too busy. People counted on him, and he took his duties seriously. Even when he was around, he always seemed a bit distant, like his mind was always somewhere else. Come to think of it, I can't ever remember seeing him smile. Not once. It's like he was always weighed down by all that responsibility. I mean, I know he cares about me, but he never really showed it, not in the usual way. I guess the best thing I can say about my father is that I respect him.
I want to talk about something else.
Like what?
I should go.
See you later.
Equalizing interior pressure with exterior atmosphere. Logged. The commanding officer is ashore. Exo Presley has the deck.
I apologize for my rudeness when you arrived. I meant no disrespect. I have a responsibility to protect the safety and privacy of corporations here. The arrival of an Alliance warship was unexpected.
No harm was done.
That is a generous attitude. My thanks. Is there anything I can do for you today, Commander?
Why are you still here? Are you guarding my ship?
All of the companies have secrets. Some of them deal in things that are not quite legal. Having a Spectre here makes them nervous. Anoleis Sama is buried under petitions to kick you off-world.
Then you're actually protecting Normandy from the companies.
I am protecting them from themselves. They do not have the personnel or training to assault an Alliance frigate.
Tell me about yourself.
You first. I'm just a security guard. I heard that there were no human Spectres. How did you get that job?
My crew and I were involved in Saren's raid on Eden Prime.
You disabled the nuke. That makes sense. Special Tactics likes people who can think on their feet. I served in the Marines for a decade, mustered out, and went private sector. I was under fire a few times, so I ended up leading this detail.
There are guards everywhere. Are there that many problems here?
I'm sure Parasini-san gave you the ultra-special blah-blah about business here. Everyone wants to be protected from everyone else. But everyone also thinks they have a special right to kick over everyone else.
So you have to keep them from getting too eager.
Most of my job is diplomacy. Two corps start yelling at each other, my people walk in, flash some ceramic, and they start talking civilly. If there is anything this job has taught me, it's how to be impartial.
Don't they have their own security forces?
Everything from hackers to mercenaries. They have investments to protect, after all. But we are the only ones allowed to bear arms. Which is why the companies constantly try to bribe my people. I have a clear policy against freelancing. Anyone who works on the side is fired.
I'll be moving on.
Very good, Commander. Please stay out of trouble.
How can I help you?
Nothing right now, thank you.
Very well.
We're back in contact with Peak 15. They say you destroyed the hot lab facility and killed Lady Benezia.
Benezia didn't have full control of her own mind.
A curious statement. Regardless, I am not concerned. Agent Saren will hold you to blame for her death, not I. I would like to know exactly what happened. Off the record.
How much would that be worth to you?
I am prepared to offer our standard 200 credit fee.
Do you know how much the Daily Galactic News would pay for this?
A great deal, I imagine. Very well, I will double the standard fee.
They were breeding Rachni.
Yes, amusing. Be serious.
Seriously, Rachni. They found a queen's egg.
If what you say is true, the profits would be incalculable. I appreciate your insight, Commander, if you will excuse me.
Don't hang up. Elder brother, it's me. I'm on Noveria now. I can't talk long. This call is costing 10 credits a minute. It's real time from the Traverse. Did you think it would be cheap? I need some information. There's an issue here with synthetic insights. The manager, Laura Keene. He got caught with his toes wet. The office is closed by Hanshin's administrator. I need you to see what you can find out about... Are you ready for his name? Ronadril Gan Swa Folsum Keratin Nar Ead Bella Anoleis. No, that's the administrator. The Hanshin administrator. Well, think about it. A Turian wouldn't risk getting his office closed. They don't compromise their team. That's drilled into them from boot camp. I think the administrator is using this Keene fella to draw flies from his own clutch. Of course I could look it up myself. But do you think I'm likely to get any unfiltered data through Noveria's own network? That, and it would take forever for any out-system search results to get back here. Thank you, Elder Brother. I have to go. Yes. I'll speak to you soon.
You gave my package to the administrator.
I had my own business to take care of. Your package was a means to an end.
I don't blame you. I'd have done the same. Opold and I, though, we're going to have a long talk.
I'm sorry. The hotel is off limits to those without a corporate account.
Back again. What can this old Turian do for you today?
I've been thinking over your difficulties with Anoleis.
Indeed?
Is there anything I can do?
I would never decline charity. However, there is one issue I should mention. Violence against Mr. Anoleis' thugs may be necessary. He has members of Han Shan's security team searching my offices. He's paying them under the table. Miss Matsuo is unaware of their outside employment.
I'll focus on trying to get your evidence. If I'm lucky, I won't have to fight anyone.
Excellent. Here is my pass into our offices. It will activate the elevator. The evidence is on my office computer. This OSD contains an encryption key to access it. Slide it into the drive and it will auto-execute. Oh, and do try to keep bloodstains off the carpets, would you?
Been a while since I've seen you. What brings you back?
Vehicle repairs, of course.
That's what I like to hear. Let's see what you need.
Freeze! Hanshan Security. This office is sealed.
Lorik Keene gave me a pass in.
Keene? Are you working for him? He's under investigation.
Anoleis is paying you to shake this place down. Does Captain Matsuo know you're here?
Hey, I'm not the one who wants Keene. Anoleis has a Varen up his ass about this guy. How about this? You pretend you didn't see us, we'll pretend we didn't see you.
I don't think you're supposed to be in here, Shepard.
You have me at a disadvantage, Miss...
Oh, now you're gonna show some respect? I'm Sergeant Kyra Sterling, Ilanis Risk Control Services. Anoleis would throw you off-world for what you did here. I won't. You know what we did to cop killers on my world?
What a load of crap. You're here off-duty, breaking the law for bribe money.
I didn't want to fight them. They fired first.
Well, I don't need a gun to rip you to pieces.
I'm a little busy here.
Commander, there have been reports of noise from the Synthetic Insights office. Would you know anything about it?
It's probably Anoleis' thugs ripping the place apart.
Smartass, huh? That's fine. I can work with that. Meet me at the hotel for a drink before you talk to Keen. I'll be waiting.
Allow me to reintroduce myself. Parasini, Noveria Internal Affairs.
Why is an internal affairs agent here?
The executive board knows about Anoleis' corruption. I've been undercover for 6 months. I want you to convince Keen to testify before the board. With his evidence, this planet can run profitably again.
You work for Anoleis. Can't you just take his records?
He's a crook, not a moron. He doesn't keep logs on his computer saying, "This month I stole 3 million credits." Keen's testimony and records are everything I need to prove Anoleis' guilt in one package.
Why don't you ask Keen directly?
I'm Anoleis' secretary. You'd think he'd believe me? That he'd meet me in some dark alley with his evidence?
I thought corruption was the rule on Noveria.
The rule is, don't rock the boat. Self-interest is tolerated if it doesn't interfere with business. Anoleis is driving customers away.
I'd like to help you, Miss Parasini, but I need Keen's garage pass. It's vital to my mission.
Yes, yes. Fate of billions and all that. I couldn't possibly understand how important your work is.
Seems we'd help more people if we did as she asks.
Look, Shepard, I don't like this either. You Spectres play fast and loose with the law. That's bad for business.
What's happening up on Peak 15?
Before the weather closed in, Hanshan received a Code Omega signal from him. Code Omega means a terminal breach of safety protocols. No one goes up until the crew sends an all clear.
That doesn't tell me much.
That's all I've got. No one knows what's going on up there.
Do you know why the Matriarch is here?
Something to do with Peak 15. She arrived after we received their Code Omega, automated warning of a containment breach. She came with an escort of Asari commandos. They took the last shuttle up to Peak 15 with a load of crates.
Do you know what she had in the crates?
No idea. The commandos wouldn't let anyone near them. They seemed heavy, though.
All right. I'll talk to Keen and see if I can convince him.
Thank you. You know where I work. Come talk to me once you know if he'll play ball.
Always a pleasure, Spectre. Any news on that matter I asked you to look into?
I finished the job, but an internal affairs investigator contacted me. She wants you to testify against Anoleis.
Now that you have my property, you want to dictate how I use it. I have no interest in a public spectacle.
Everyone on this station is chafing under Anoleis' extortion. You might end up a hero.
My employers rely on the goodwill of the executive board to work here.
The board is investigating Anoleis. They'll be more angry at him than at you.
All right. It is obvious that I cannot dissuade you. Very well. I will testify. Make whatever arrangements you need.
What sort of offer did they make you?
Good. I don't think I'm supposed to mention numbers. They'd only write them down on thin strip.
Full benefits, of course.
Oh, sure. The company takes care of its own. Full insurance, paid vacation, subsidized housing. After a year, I'd start getting stock options.
You hear about the resort they've got here? At the equator. Bounce backing, diving, an accredited ASA Eurofield.
If you like that sort of thing, I'd rather admire the view.
I have not been contacted regarding our arrangement yet. Are things in hand?
Not yet. I need to speak to my contact.
Do hurry. Anoleis has many spies.
Where have you been? Have you made any progress with Keen?
Oh, right. Keen's evidence. Forgot all about it.
I'm gonna close my eyes and count to 10. If I don't explode, tell me if you've convinced Keen to turn over his evidence and testify. 1, 14.
It took some persuasion, but Keen has agreed to testify.
That's a world of stress off my back. I'll take the evidence for safe transport. I didn't think you'd help me, being a Spectre and all. I guess some of you can be all right.
Doesn't this help you? You don't seem particularly happy.
I'm ecstatic, but right now, I just feel like a long day of work is ending. I have an arrest to make. Wish I had time to change into something easy to move in. I hate skirts.
This is an outrage. I'll see that you never work in this sector again.
Yeah, get a move on.
You, Shepard! I demand you place this bitch under arrest!
You have the right to remain silent. I wish to God you'd exercise it. See you around the galaxy, Commander. I owe you a beer.
This one would prefer no further interaction.
I'm here as a customer.
Very well. This one will need the credits.
Commander, I'm glad you stopped to talk. I wanted to tell you how unfortunate it was that Anoleis Sama was caught with his hand in the cookie jar. Rest assured, I bear you no ill will.
Unfortunate. He was a criminal, Captain.
The Executive Board is not concerned with galactic law, Commander. That's why this planet was settled, after all. As far as they are concerned, Anoleis Sama went too far. On Noveria, you may do what you wish, so long as you do not disturb public order. I only request that you limit the number of disturbances you provoke. I would consider it a favor.
I don't intend to make life difficult for anyone.
I appreciate that, Commander. If you will excuse me, I must file reports in this incident. Good day.
Stand by, shore party. Decontamination in Logged. The commanding officer is aboard. Exo.
Boy, am I glad to be off of Noveria. I don't know which was worse, the cold or the corporations. One will freeze your balls off, the other will sell them out from under you. With all due respect, Commander.
I have to go.
All right, see you.